When we think about travel, most of us probably see it as just a simple break, a temporary escape from the daily grind. But what if it's actually something way more fundamental? In this explainer, we're going to dive into how travel isn't just a luxury, but an absolutely essential catalyst for transforming who we are. This classic quote from St. Augustine just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It paints such a vivid picture. Staying in one place is kind of like reading only the first page of an incredible book. To really get the plot of the human experience, you got to be willing to turn the page. And this really gets to the heart of it. Is travel just a quick getaway, or is it something fundamental to our growth? We're going to make the case that it's not just a nice to have, it is absolutely essential. So let's break down exactly why. Okay, first up, let's look at how travel completely reshapes our view of the world. This is all about those outward-facing changes, how getting out there helps us tear down these mental walls that, honestly, we often don't even realize we built. I mean, just picture that feeling of stepping into a completely different culture. The new sounds, the unfamiliar smells and foods. In that very moment, all your assumptions, they get put under a microscope. It's this immersive, direct challenge to your default way of seeing things. And this chart just maps out that mental shift perfectly. See, at home, our world is naturally contained, and it's so easy to start believing there's one right way to do things. But abroad, that whole idea gets shattered. You're faced with the reality that there are countless different, equally valid ways to live a life. So what happens through all of this? Well, it builds something called cultural humility. It's this simple but really profound shift from judging what's different to actually listening and trying to understand it. You start to find beauty in diversity, and in a way, you become a bridge, a carrier of understanding that you bring right back home with you. Now, this journey outward also kicks off a huge journey inward. So next, we're going to explore how travel acts as this sort of unofficial school of life, forging a stronger, way more resilient version of you. Let's be real for a second. Travel is almost never perfect. Flights get delayed, luggage gets lost, you find yourself completely turned around in a new city. But here's the thing. Those moments aren't just negatives. These hiccups, they're the curriculum. They are the real-world pop quizzes where our character is truly built. It really boils down to this simple three-step process. First, there's the mishap, that initial oh no moment of panic. Then comes the pivot, where you have to think on your feet and solve the problem without your usual safety net. But the real reward isn't just fixing the problem. It's that deep, quiet, lasting confidence you earn and carry with you long after you're back home. And this right here is the ultimate payoff. The skills you pick up navigating a huge challenge abroad translate directly back to your daily life. I mean, once you've figured out the Tokyo subway system all by yourself, that sudden deadline at work or a frustrating errand, it just doesn't seem quite so scary anymore, does it? All right, let's go even deeper now. Beyond changing how we see the world and ourselves, travel offers this incredibly powerful psychological reset. This is all about the amazing benefits of consciously breaking away from our day-to-day routine. We've all been there, right? Autopilot mode. It's that stifling comfort of a routine that just slowly, day by day, numbs our creativity and our sense of wonder. Well, travel is pretty much the single most potent antidote to this. It physically pulls us right out of that rut. Just think about what's actually happening in your brain here. All the novelty, the new sights, sounds, and experiences, it literally sparks your creativity. It reawakens that childlike sense of wonder we lose as adults. But just as importantly, it creates mental space. When you physically step away from your life, you can suddenly see it with fresh eyes, often leading to this incredible clarity on big decisions you've been wrestling with for months. So, what does this all add up to? Well, it means we need to reframe how we think about travel. It's not an expense, it's an investment in yourself. The most valuable souvenirs aren't the things you pack in your suitcase. They're the changes that become a permanent part of who you are. When you boil it all down, it really comes to this powerful trifecta. Travel enriches our character by making us more resilient and humble. It sharpens our minds with totally new perspectives. And maybe, just maybe most importantly, it softens our hearts by reminding us that we're all just part of one big, messy, beautiful human family. So let's end with this final, powerful thought that just reframes the whole purpose of the journey. The goal isn't to run from life, but to make sure life doesn't run away from you. It's about running towards the world to experience its full, vibrant, and transformative potential.